podcast. We're a group of guys in the fantasy Premier League, and we like to talk about football or soccer or whatever it is you call it. We have a lot to get to this week with midweek fixtures. You're getting bonus Hooligans and a new hooligan this week with Theo. We also have Nick and Rife, and I'm Myles. And we're gonna get started. We have some big news. I mean, I'm watching MLS playoffs on the screen behind me, so I might be distracted. It's El Tráfico, the first. I don't know if it's the first playoff El Tráfico, but it's probably one of the biggest in this rivalry thing. But should we dive into the big news of the day, Rife?
Big news of the day. Which one's that?
I would say I was thinking Gerrard and Villa.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just had to. There's two big things that happened today. So yeah, Gerrard getting sacked. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. It finally happened.
Finally happened.
Yeah, I don't know if there's.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's not really much to say. It's like I thought he was going to be a good manager going to Aston Villa, but I mean, I saw a couple of the Rangers games when he was there just because I was interested, and one of United's players was loaned out over there, being Amad Diallo. He didn't play for him, but getting to see them play, I thought they played pretty well. And Aston Villa just not the same whatsoever. So, yeah.
So going back to preseason predictions, I had Aston Villa pretty high, like 7th or 8th.
Mm-hmm. They have a solid team. It's just I don't know what I don't know what Steven Gerrard was doing.
Seventh chemistry.
Is a high pick. 7th is a high pick for.
That's pretty high.
I would definitely say top 10, but I don't know about 8 or like 7. But I could see 8. But I mean, it at this point never so matter for them. I mean,
he had some good
they can't
spells, right?
not even last season.
Okay.
There's a couple managers that are, high profile that could slide into that position, but would they want to manage at Aston Villa? Being Tuchel, however you say it, Pochettino. I can't think of the other one off the top of my head right now.
Tuchel to Villa would be really interesting.
I doubt he'd go there.
Yeah,
I really do.
Right.
That's a dude, but
skeptical.
He's also he's been a manager at bigger clubs, but he hasn't been a manager for very long, has he? Like compared to some other managers. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He spent a couple years at I think he's been a manager for at least a little over a decade, no?
Was it 10 years? I thought he was before PSG, he was an assistant manager.
I think he was an assistant manager at Dortmund. I think he was at Dortmund for a while.
Oh, that's right. He was at Dortmund. I forgot about Dortmund.
Yep.
But yeah. So I mean, it'd be probably a step down for him, but
yeah.
At the same time, it would also be a challenge.
I think
Poch, I think, would actually be more realistic than Tuchel, at least, mainly because Poch was at Southampton, which had no budget, and they were all about developing and all that, and he was able to get the team to play well, and he just made a big jump to Tottenham. Well, actually, at the time, it really wasn't a big jump to Tottenham. That's what I'm saying. Wasn't great.
If we think of Pochettino,
he made Tottenham.
If we think of Pochettino before PSG, Poch was probably, I won't say best, but I say top 5 hottest managers in the world. I mean, I would have loved seeing him go to. He could have gone to Barcelona. He could have gone to United. He could have gone to PSG. I mean, he went to a PSG to manage the Neymar, Mbappe, Messi situation. That's how strong his name was.
Yeah. And I think because he did that, he actually lost a little bit of credibility.
He lost, yeah. He's not the same name anymore.
So he got knocked down a little bit now. So actually, Aston Villa might be good for him.
Not Aston Villa knocked down. Moyes kind of went through the same thing. Moyes kind of went through the same thing. He did incredible with Everton, and I say Everton of the past is Spurs of today, right?
Because they were top, right around Europa, nothing top champions. 6, and then
and then he went to United, failed miserably, and then he bounced around a couple of clubs, and now he's doing excellent.
Exactly. So Poch might just need a career reset. I think he'd be good for Aston Villa, especially the way he plays with the players that they have.
I wanted him at West Ham, to be honest.
Do you think he would? Do you
Oh,
guys
he
think
would be
he'd
good
be okay with, like, he's coached at PSG and places like that. Do you think he's okay with kind of taking a step down to?
If
mean,
Mourinho
he-
can manage at Roma, Pochettino can go to Aston Villa.
Okay, not the same, not the same, not the
Yeah.
same.
It's
I'd
similar.
say
It's similar.
I mean,
I mean, at this point, Roma isn't like a household name anymore. I mean, it's
What?
not like it's not a big name club at this
I
point.
can
If
I
you
can
really
tell
think
you
about
exactly what their logo looks like.
Roma has a
it,
fan base
hold
though.
on.
They
But hold on.
they have a fan base, but
Wh-
they fight for Europa every year.
But what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
go
that
ahead.
if you really think about it, if you think Italian clubs, what are your top three? I know Roma is not my top
I
three.
promise you, it would be
If
for
it-
me.
No, right?
It'd probably be
right
Juve.
now it would
It'd
be
probably
right
be
now.
Juve,
Inter,
AC, Inter,
then
and
Milan.
then Roma.
and that's top three. That's what I'm saying. Top three.
Okay,
You
for
look-
them, they
if
would
you-
be top four.
Yeah, but that's in Italy, top four.
That's in
only
Italy.
gets
Roma
you
and Totti. I
Europa.
mean, that's iconic. That's what I know them from. Like, that's iconic to me.
But
That's very true.
recently, in the past, 10 years, probably since 12 years, I mean, you really haven't heard much of them.
No,
You know?
100%.
They just-
Completely agree. But I feel that way
It's
about
it's like
all
they it's like
Italian
they
clubs.
it's like they've dropped off the map.
But you look at
you still hear about Juventus like what 6 years ago, 4 years
do you
ago
hear
they made it
do
to
you hear
the
about AC Milan?
Champions League final.
Do you hear about
Yeah.
AC Milan?
Yeah,
Do you? What have they done?
They won last year.
They've lost to. They
Yeah.
lost to.
No, I mean in Europe,
Arsenal
what have they done?
recently.
No,
Lost to
nothing in
Arsenal
Europe, but they won the.
Okay,
the
I mean they won
Get that
they
up.
won Serie A last year.
Yeah, they won.
but
Serie A
that's what I'm
last
saying.
year.
Even before then, they've had a slump, a bad slump.
Oh yeah,
But
and I'm not
forever,
denying that.
AC Milan
They
will be
did.
a household name. I think I think Roma way more than Aston Villa, in my eyes at least.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not disagreeing,
Well,
but as of right now, if you think about it, the biggest league in the world is the Premier League.
No, I
Serie
definitely
A
see
used to be
appeal.
Serie A used to be the biggest league in the world, right? But 20, 30 years
90s.
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now
Yeah.
it's flipped to the Premier League, and you don't really hear too much about the Serie A, is all I'm saying. And I'm not saying AS Roma is not a big club, because it is a big club. I'm just saying the exposure hasn't been there for the last 10, 15 years. And probably in America, the last time it was big exposure was Bradley. Was
And-
when Bradley was playing for him. And that was 2013?
if
so-
not earlier.
So
14?
I completely agree with everything you're saying. The exposure is a lot more of the Premier League. That's why I brought up the AC Milan argument, is just to say that yes, AC Milan is in my eyes, they've fallen off. They have 6 Champions Leagues. They've absolutely fallen off, even if they won one Serie A in the past 12, 15 years, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
true.
at the end of the day, today and 10 years from now, AC Milan will forever be a strong name. The same way I see Roma. And that's
True.
why I just don't think Mourinho going to Roma and getting to build his own team the way he wants it to be is, at the same caliber. You might get more exposure at
Yeah.
Aston Villa. I completely agree. But I don't put Aston Villa and Roma in the same.
That's fair.
All
But
right.
okay, so look at it this way then, though.
So-
Here, sorry, and then we'll move on. But an example that way with the Premier League,
Mhm.
Newcastle back in the 80s and 90s was a huge club,
Huge.
competing with United and all that
Even
stuff.
early 2000s.
So let's say 2 years ago when Mourinho went to Roma, would Mourinho have gone to Newcastle, even though they have that prestige, they were fighting relegation?
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have gone there. They have the prestige, but he's not going to go to a relegation fighting team.
They also got
He
funding.
went to Roma, who's been finishing between 4th and 8th for the past how many years at this point?
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
They've always been the
Yeah.
one behind. They haven't
Yeah.
ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So it
with
was
you.
just that's just the example I was making. It was just that he made that step down from always competing for titles,
True.
realizing I need to do something else because I'm not that person anymore. So
100%.
he went there. Now he's got to develop his own game and do that at Roma.
Yeah.
Pochettino, he took basically a stab going over to PSG, has to reset his career. Where can he do that? Oh, Aston Villa is one of those teams that has potential because they have money.
You know what?
Yeah.
I completely agree, because even looking at where Pochettino going from Tottenham to PSG to Aston Villa, let's say, is a way smaller jump than the Inter, Chelsea, Madrid, United, Chelsea United, and then AS Roma. That's a much bigger jump. I'm with you guys. I feel you.
It's just like
that's just what I
FIFA,
was
you know, like most of the time when you start a career mode on FIFA, you pick a smaller team because it's more fun to build the smaller teams than just play as a big
No, I just go for the biggest one I can find.
I was gonna say you have a much more better, more noble look on FIFA.
Yeah, I just create all my own players. So
Actually, I always start at Swindon Town. I don't know why, but I always liked Swindon Town.
Well, that's a big team. So
Yeah.
well, now you can use Wrexham or Richmond FC.
I'll probably go with Wrexham.
All right. Did we have any more Premier League news from today we wanted to get to before we talk about like the United drama?
I mean, Fulham winning 3-0
or anything.
I mean, Fulham winning 3-0 is pretty impressive, honestly. Like they've actually started to look like a legitimate like mid-table team now.
Yeah, instead of an up and down team.
Look, I'm still gonna throw this out here. 2 players I love on Fulham. Tim Ream looks like one of the most complete center backs in probably the Premier League right now. And I know that's kind of a ballsy thing to say. That's okay. But he literally looks freaking great. And I can't believe that he's not going to be playing for the US, or at least starting. And then second, Pereira. I know he didn't have an assist or anything like that today, but I'm telling you, Pereira, he's if he keeps going this way, I'll say probably in the next year or two, I bet you he gets sold to a bigger club.
Wasn't he at United?
He was at United. He was a youth player.
I think he didn't. They tried the big club thing. I don't.
But the thing is,
unless Fulham becomes a consistent mid-table team, he'll get transferred to a mid-table team.
Yes,
he'll go to the Aston Villa, the Crystal Palace.
He might even get a look at Liverpool to
Everton
be like
now,
4 or 5 games a season type player.
Yeah, exactly. Which right now Liverpool's a mid-table team because they're in 11th.
Oh man, these are good times.
Yeah, aren't they?
These are happy good times.
Yeah,
I will say the last 2 games Liverpool's actually looked pretty solid. Honestly,
Liverpool's in 7th. Who did you say was in 11th?
Liverpool was before their win against
before their win.
Yeah,
who they just beat 1-0.
2 wins in 4 or 5 days for Liverpool. They're up to 7th. Is that a Europa Conference spot?
Yes, it is. They got
It is a conference.
They've got a Europe spot.
That's all they need.
Okay, can't really make fun of that yet because I'm still hoping we don't make 7th this year. We were so close last year. Not
honestly
where we're at.
Honestly, I didn't get to watch yesterday's game. I saw some of the highlights, but I mean, from the highlights, I mean, if we don't, I was at work. I mean, I couldn't do anything
get into that game.
All I've got to say is that if we keep playing that way, I mean, top 5 finish easy this year.
Yeah, Myles, we'll let you. You want to transition us over then?
Yeah. So I have a question for you guys. Big question. Which MLS team do you think Ronaldo fits best on for the January transfer window?
Is he allowed to be on the same team?
Inter Miami.
Yeah.
Gotta be LA Galaxy just to be a movie star, right?
Inter Miami.
He will. Now, actually, I take back what I said about Bale. He will not go anywhere near LA.
I don't think so.
Was Bale?
Yeah, no, you won't. No, because of the
whole
chick.
debacle that happened a few years back.
He's scared of Batman.
Who's Batman? What's going on? I don't watch MLS.
Too.
No, you didn't hear about what happened with Ronaldo a few years back? A woman came out of the woodwork and
Oh yes, yes,
accused him of all
yes,
that,
yes.
which we
I
won't
was-
get
I was
into
thinking more
because that's all
MLS, yeah.
legal stuff, and they can deal with that part, and we won't get into that.
I think they
Yeah,
dealt
My
with
guess
he won't go
is-
anywhere close. He won't go anywhere near LA.
He's going to go
He might
to
even,
enter.
if he goes to Inter Miami, he'll put in his contract that he will not play any away games in LA.
He'll live in Charlotte, North Carolina, just to be safe, but play in Miami.
I wanna see him somewhere like Salt Lake. Like I want to see him play for real Salt Lake.
Nah.
I want
Nah,
to see
he
him
won't
play
do it.
for a new
He'll go
new
with
team,
Beckham.
maybe with no history,
You know,
St.
honestly,
Louis?
you know who I could.
maybe just a brand new
doubt it.
team that's just
St.
building a stadium.
Louis FC, maybe.
Maybe
Yeah, there's no
maybe
way.
a good city with a beautiful arch. I don't know.
I heard he
You
looks
say
good
a
in
good.
pink.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop everyone here. Theo, did you just say a good city? Theo, I live in St. Louis. I've been here my whole life. It's
First
not
of
a
all,
good city.
you don't
You
live in
live in
St.
South
Louis.
County.
You don't live in St. Louis. I live in St. Louis. Let's be
Yeah, you
really
live in
honest.
South County. Look at his
Alex,
brick
you
wall.
don't even
You
live in
see,
Missouri.
you see what my apartment looks like. This is what
Yeah,
Soulard looks
look
like.
at his brick wall.
It's not
He
South
lives
County.
in St. Louis.
You know how much I live into St. Louis? Yesterday, I couldn't get to my house because there was a shootout, and that's a real fact.
Hey, don't tell Ronaldo that.
Oh no! Central West End is so beautiful. Never mind. Clayton, we'll just show him Cafe Napoli and take him straight to the airport.
St. Louis is the LA of the Midwest.
Yeah.
For real. Without the beaches.
Say we're the Miami of the Midwest.
Sure. Whatever you
We're
want.
not that trashy.
You sure about that?
Anyways.
Okay. Anyways,
Oh man. But yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Ronaldo's
guess we
I
can
could
do it
also
for this weekend.
I could see him. Who's?
Ronaldo suspended for the Chelsea game.
Oh yeah.
Is he
Suspended
suspended
of
or is
all-
he out of the squad?
He's
Ten
suspended.
Hag just
completely.
dropped him.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's not even allowed at first team training until
But-
after the Chelsea game.
But is he like
He didn't get a card or anything like that. Ten Hag just said you're benched. But
okay? That's not okay.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
out of.
I
the,
knew I
okay.
knew where your head was going.
He's
Theo.
he's
That's
club
all right.
suspended.
Okay, I was gonna say
Ten-
no. I saw that today, and I'm very happy about it. To be honest.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
all that it means is he won't get subbed on for the last 6 minutes of the regular time. So it's like,
Hey.
big sacrifice.
They tried to against Tottenham.
To,
He said no and walked down the.
yeah. To not look.
That's
I
all.
mean, even in Europa, are we getting into this right now, or should I?
No,
wait?
we're getting into it.
We're
Okay.
getting into it.
Just my
Buckle
thoughts
up.
on this is even I've been surprisingly watching our games this year, as a fan.
Good to
You
hear.
gotta do it sometimes. I've been watching Europa League. I've been watching players try to feed him goals. I've been watching players stand around him. I've been watching a club support him and help him through his struggles, and and he's had a lot of off-field issues, and I love this guy. I mean, I still wear his shoes as a center back. There's no problem on my side. But when the club is supporting you and the club is going through transition and the club is keeping how they feel about you very private and you're not playing your best football, on top of that, we try to integrate you into the team in the most respectful way. We have you start Europa. We have you starting some PL games when we make it look like a rotation and not like, hey, we're waiting for this guy to see if he's good or not. We do all these respectful things. And on arguably a turning point in our season, the only time this season that we've looked good for 90 minutes, I would say, you leave before the game is over and make it about you. Look, a while back, a few years ago, I think he was playing either for Juve or Madrid. I don't remember, but he scored a volley against De Gea, and I knew it was in the Bernabeu, but he still celebrated against United. And that broke my heart. But you know what? I got over it. He came back. There was arguments that he's going to go to the city, and he really wanted to. But you know what? I moved on and I moved past it. But now it's too much. He's never going to be bigger than this club, and in my eyes. And if he goes and plays if I never see him touch the field again, I'm happy with it. It almost tarnished his reputation in my eyes. I'm okay. I've made my peace with this guy. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. So do you think it possibly ruined any more playing chance he has until January?
I don't think he has, just because he's Ronaldo. I really don't.
Yeah. But can I point out something? I said it last year. He is a sickness for the club at this point. He came in with a bad attitude. And I'm not saying that Solskjaer wasn't the coach, or like it wasn't mostly Solskjaer's fault last season. What I'm saying is
I'd
that
argue
whenever
that.
when Ronaldo came in last season, if you look at it, Man U was actually playing pretty solid. Yes, Ronaldo
United.
came in and he had. At this point, I'm bashing him a little bit because last season, whenever Ronaldo came in, yes, he had the most goals in the team, but if you look at it, everyone else's stats dropped off.
Understandable.
That's not something that's
It's
like
understandable, but
I'm just throwing that
they
out
had
there.
bad
Bruno
seasons.
Fernandes looked really good at the beginning of the season. Ronaldo came in, the next game he looked like dog shit.
I feel like
he
carried us that first season. I really do. He came in clutch
He did.
and saved us a lot.
I'm not denying that he scored a bunch of goals. I'm not denying that he had 4 assists. But to me, it's yes, he's a striker, but also at the same time, like you got to play as a team, not as solely. To me, I don't care if you're the best player in the world. If you're not going to play as a team, I don't care. I don't want you on my team.
But Ollie
That's
also
just me.
didn't know how to use him.
Ollie also didn't know how to coach. So God love him.
Exactly.
What?
Which is
God
why his
love him.
attitude dropped off so quick.
This Ollie bashing is gotta stop. He's got us the closest we've ever gotten to a title and made us beat BSG in a quarterfinals in Champions League or going to the quarterfinals.
Hold on.
Those
If
are two factual things that happen. No one has gotten us as close to winning the Premier League like Solskjaer does, and he did it with exciting football.
That
Who
was
was
because
closer, with Mourinho or Ollie to first place?
They were both second place.
Mourinho.
Yeah, but
But
points
also
wise,
points. I don't know. But also, here's the
Ollie
thing:
had
if
more
you look
points?
at it,
I don't remember. That's why I
I
was
don't
asking.
remember either. I don't remember.
if you look at it, McTominay and Fred looked like they were probably the worst midfielders.
Yeah,
They were the worst midfielders in the Premier League.
And we went
there's a lot more reasons why we were second.
Then you look now with Ten Hag, both of them look like brand new players. Yes, we have different players in the
They are
team, but the
playing
system
completely
looks a
different
whole
roles.
different. That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
He didn't have
That's
Casemiro
exactly
and
what I'm
Varane
saying.
and people to rely on.
Because he didn't want to sign a
understand that.
midfielder.
Casemiro's been
I
such a
just don't
great
think anybody
addition.
came over.
Casemiro's been such a great addition to the team this year.
Yes.
Him and Ericsson.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric's
this
been phenomenal.
Yeah, we have a real six in our team. When was the last time we had a six in our team?
Okay, hold on. Theo, I'm going to point this out.
Matic with one leg.
Matic was good. He
Theo,
was
I'm gonna
very
point
good
this out
even
again.
with one leg.
You
Yeah.
defended Pogba like it was your job last season, and he was probably another one of our worst players on our team last year.
Who wouldn't defend Pogba as a soccer player? We all play football. We all see if Pogba is a generational player when he wants to be.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? How can you not defend Pogba?
It is the attitude. Him and Ronaldo had the same attitude. It's either
Oh,
me
that is not
or
true.
the
I will
team.
fight
That
you
is-
right now.
Go
for
ahead.
saying
No.
that.
Go ahead.
No.
Wife. You
Both
take
of
it
them.
over.
Both of them have terrible attitudes.
No.
Yeah.
You said
yeah.
that no, you did not say terrible attitudes. You said same attitude. They have bad attitudes for completely different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Pogba
Yes.
was a prima donna that thought he deserved the world. Ronaldo is a prima
That's
donna
Ronaldo.
that thinks he deserves the world. No.
Okay, so I'm right. Thank you.
No,
I
that
appreciate it.
was a joke.
No.
Ronaldo wanted to leave this summer. We did not make Champions League. He wanted to leave. He is Mr. Champions League. That's like his nickname around the world because of how well he does in the Champions League. Tried to leave. The club said no, because nobody's going to pay a fee for you and we're not letting you go for free. And clubs did not want to pay a fee for him because of his wages were so high. He even offered to cut his wages. I think it was in half was the rumors that were going around. And in half is still more than most players make anyways. But yeah, teams tried to, and he tried to make it work, but it didn't work because the club, there were multiple clubs that did want him. He had multiple offers. He had multiple offers.
All I've seen is him wanting to leave and nobody wanted to
And
take
nobody wanted him. And even Man U
that was a
said,
lot
"Yeah,
of
you can
the
go."
that was a lot of the journos that
narrative?
were coming out with that. But Roy Keane, Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville all came out and talked about how he had multiple offers.
From who?
But
Do we know names of clubs?
Yeah. Do we know?
Napoli was
There's no
Napoli was
proof.
one. Napoli was one club that had an offer out. Juventus came out and had an offer, but both of them were very low. That they were just like, this is what we can afford. This is all we can afford without breaking FFP. But yeah, FFP. And United was just like, no, you have to pay us a fee and pay his wages. One club, I forgot which one it was, came out and wanted to actually just get him loaned to them for a year because they were in the Champions League and he wanted to go. United said no.
That would have been.
So they basically put a chain on him and kept him here. So you'll wonder why he had a bad attitude that way. But Eric Ten Hag has come out every single time he's been asked about it and talked about how his attitude is phenomenal in training the young guys. Everyone's looking up to him. He always wanting to get better in training. But then when he doesn't play, being Cristiano Ronaldo, he's going to get frustrated. He even came out with an entire quote unquote apology today, basically saying that the emotions got the better of me and I will never let it happen again. Yeah, it's on his Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
Look, I completely agree with everything you're saying, but I just want to. There's something that we forget about football players, and you guys know we're in the same group chat. I'm the one who always defends the football players being whatever they want to be.
Yeah.
Defending them. Hey, if you're not happy, leave. If you want to get more wages, go for it. I support you. Everything that like that, I'm on the side of the club. I'm on the side of the player every time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the one instance where when you refuse to come on a game, an important game where you could have scored a third goal and eased our way to the end of the season, you could possibly scored a second goal and helped us out. I don't know when he was asked to come on and he refused. You're getting paid to do this job. You've agreed on the manager. You've agreed to the team. Not being frustrating and calling and wanting a transfer, completely understandable. But refusing to play, to me, that just takes it on another level. This is
completely unacceptable.
I understand when Pogba was frustrated, and going back to the Pogba thing, if you were Pogba, you would hate your life, to be completely honest. Pogba was playing left mid. Pogba was playing as a 6. Pogba was playing 10 sometimes, and not a creative 10. A 10 as in borderline a target man for people to run off of.
Yep.
Pogba had as one of the most creative players I've ever seen in my life, just watching him play for a guy who's 6'3" or something. He was pushed out in every single which position. Ronaldo seems to have the complete opposite. Hey, you want to be a striker? Be a striker. You want to start? Start. You want to take your time? Take your time. You want to be this? You don't want to press? That's fine. You want to press? Cool. You want whatever position you want to play, we'll support you. And he's just not performing, and he looks around for options everywhere except for within.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the thing that I actually wanted to get on too, but I got real distracted with the whole Nick saying that the attitudes were the same with Pogba and Ronaldo, which I never got to even talk about the difference between them.
Poor Pogba.
Yeah. Pogba's attitude was just that. No, not yet.
Hold on.
Pogba's issue. Pogba's issue.
He was bought for 80 million.
I don't
and he
care.
Couldn't play.
He couldn't play. What? Do you have eyes?
No. He could play. At some point, he just got frustrated that he just stopped
consistently.
Trying. He ended up focusing more on publicity and all that stuff that he wasn't showing how good he was on the field anymore.
You saw him with France?
That's my issue.
He enjoyed playing for France.
Yeah.
I know that's your issue, but I'm just talking about you can't compare the two. Oh, that's okay. Where was I? For Ronaldo.
Hard to not enjoy playing for France. That team is stacked.
Oh, it
is beautiful completely. To look behind you and look at Conte just chasing people. I know it's not one of our topics today, but I am so sad that Conte can't make the World Cup this year. He can't? I didn't know that.
He got hurt, and it's going to take him to pass the World Cup.
Oh,
that sucks.
Go. I don't want you to lose your train of thought. You were talking about Ronaldo and looking within and that.
Yeah, I don't think he's realized how much age has caught up with him in such a short amount of time. He was able to score a bunch of goals last year, and he's tried the same things this year, and he seems to be a half a step off every single time. And it's like only 6 months caused him to go from playing as a 36-year-old with like 30-year-old legs to playing like a 37-year-old.
That
And
relies on speed. That
yeah,
relies on
and he's
speed
not and he's not fast anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A 36-year-old. As much as I don't like Zlatan, a 36-year-old Zlatan that's just a poacher and a 6'5" monster and strength and all that can last a
Yeah.
lot longer than a 38-year-old who relies on speed and quick feet and poaching, and you know what I mean. It just
Yeah,
it
and it's like he's getting
doesn't work
really
the
good
same.
at poaching and all that, but he always had speed and athleticism.
Yes.
And it seems like something happened this summer. It just gone.
And this is the thing. If I was
Comparatively.
Ronaldo, if I was his friends, I would look around and be like, "Look, you're starting every game at Europa. Do you think you would have performed in the Champions League?"
Yeah. You didn't perform against Ammonia
What
from
team?
Cyprus.
What team would he go play with? What team? Would he play for City? Would he bench Haaland?
Not this year.
Are
Would
there
he bench,
multiple
Although-
ammonias?
Would he bench
Or why
Mbappe?
is it always ammonia from Cyprus?
I'm just putting emphasis on that Cyprus is a very, very small country and has how many soccer teams?
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was struggling against a team that's named very similarly to a disease. I mean, you know, I mean, we could do better. These aren't the days that used to come back and, you know, the Wolfsburg days when he came back and scored a hat trick to take Madrid. Those days are dead. And I feel like he's the only one that does not know that.
Yeah, he just has not. And honestly, that could also be causing a lot of his frustration, though, is that maybe it's starting to click and it's pissing him off.
I thought he was in a good mood. I really looked at the bench a couple times. He was laughing. He had a new earring on. I really thought he was in a good mood. I thought he's gonna come on. And if he, I think me and you talked about this when we were watching one of the games. I would have my perfect Ronaldo role this year would have been, with the amount of subs that we can have him come on at minute 60 every single game of the season and just terrorize the center backs or whatever that's left of them.
Exactly.
I think they call
Make
that
them
I think they
and he
call that
would've
the
bagged-
Griezmann now.
The Griezmann.
But
Yeah.
honestly,
Hey, they signed him. He's playing more now.
Yeah.
but truly, he could have bagged what 12, 15 goals this season doing that.
I have two
easily.
thoughts I'd like to throw out for you guys.
Yeah,
So
bring it.
one, you guys already mentioned. I think Ronaldo is starting to feel older, and he hasn't felt older before. And I do think that is probably frustrating. And I think another thing that's really, really frustrating is Messi's been playing really well, and people have been noticing
Really well.
Messi's been playing well. And, you know, he's starting a lot of games. He's in a, you know, arguably one of the 3 or 4 biggest teams in the entire world. And, you know, Ronaldo's coming off the bench in the Premier League and starting in Europa. And meanwhile, Messi's getting all this news, all this attention for what he's doing at PSG. And and I don't want to turn this into a Messi versus Ronaldo debate, because this is just a midweek, you know, Premier League catch up here. But I think it's worth saying that I think Ronaldo does have to pay a little bit of attention to, you know, what Messi does. And, you know, I think in 10 years, it's going to be the same thing as Haaland and Mbappe. You know, what teams are they at now? And, you know, where are they locked in, and what's going to happen with that?
Messi got his fair share of criticism last year. He played horrible.
did.
I was gonna say he did play
The
terrible
whole
last year.
season he was bad.
But we never heard anything from Messi, and I'm a Ronaldo fan. The way I'm talking right now is out of character for me. But we did not hear anything from Messi. At least I didn't. We didn't hear him walking off the field. We didn't hear him. We just heard he's playing terrible. He comes on and he plays terrible. He comes on and he plays terrible.
Yep.
And a lot of people thought that could be the end for Messi. That it, you know, that we were going to see him in MLS next year.
Thought I didn't think he would, and I still don't think. I think Messi's found a nice place in Ligue 1. I don't think Messi is.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him in the Champions League against a good team. That's all I'm
Sure.
gonna say.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I agree, but yeah.
Yeah.
When you have,
Yeah, so
when
I
you have
just think
Neymar
honestly,
and
Ronaldo
Mbappe
just needs to
flying.
get out of the Ronaldo needs to get out of the Premier League, honestly. With the physicality of the league and just how it's considered the quote unquote best league in the world and the most physical league in the world right now.
Do you think Bundesliga would
Just
be good for him?
can't.
Bundesliga would be fun.
They're physical too, though.
Yeah, but I mean, if he plays for Bayern, I mean,
But Bayern,
saying.
they were one of the teams that came in and said, "We'll take him on for this much.
He would fit.
We have the money, but we're not paying."
He would actually really fit well
would
at
fit.
Bayern. Him,
He would.
Mane, oh my god, and Muller, like dude, he would be scoring goals left and right. He would probably win a
would.
Champions League and win a League Cup there.
How is Bayern doing this year? Because they're not doing as well with what's Leo left, are they?
No,
They might come in. They might
too.
actually come in for him in January.
That would be a good fit, honestly, for everybody.
It would, and he hasn't played in that league yet.
He has not, and it's one of the other top leagues.
It just doesn't look good for a player to be chasing Champions League wins. It does not look good.
No.
Even if he wins another
yeah.
Champions League, is it like just to have one on your belt if you've been carried by the
I think
entire-
it's his amount of goals in the Champions League because Messi has like 2 less than him.
Messi's got like 10 less.
Is it?
Yeah, Messi's a while back, I think.
Yeah, but Messi's
Okay,
also
first-
a year and a half younger and in the Champions League right now, and Ronaldo's not.
Yeah, but Messi's
Who
a
in the
half
world
younger,
is
but
Union Berlin?
way less
I'm
Best
looking
athletic.
at
team in Union Berlin's best team in the German league.
That's what I haven't
Right now,
really
yeah.
paid much attention to Bundesliga, and I'm looking at it, and they're
They
literally
have-
over Bayern right now.
They have come up from almost from
Is it?
I think they were in the
is it-
second league, the second
Is
division,
this their like
6
Leicester
years
City?
ago.
Is this their Leicester
not
City
as-
that's gonna
not
like
as
win the league?
Not as dramatic because they've been in the Bundesliga for a few years now, but I'm pretty sure they were in the
So
second
did-
division as of
Leicester
when
was.
I was a
in-
junior in college. They were in this. They had just made it to the Bundesliga. I'm pretty sure.
Leicester. I just want to throw this out there. Leicester City was in the Premier League for like 3 seasons before they won the Premier League.
I thought they
Consecutively?
did it in their second season.
I'm pretty sure it was like their third.
The third is the one that they won.
Yeah, I was saying the
Was
third season was when they won it.
And I thought,
But
okay,
I'm
I thought it was
I'm
the
just
second.
saying, Bayern Munich would be a solid place for Ronaldo to go.
Yeah, he needs to go somewhere in January.
Anyways, all I'm saying
Go to
is
PSG and break all the headlines.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, honestly,
oh my
I'd like
God.
to-
there were a
time
lot of
now.
rumors about
I mean,
that.
why not? Let's get it going. I mean, we saw the best of Ronaldo versus Messi. Might as well, send them off into the sunset in an incredible
Actually,
team
I-
with baby
what if-
Ronaldo and
what
baby
if-
Messi
what
playing
if-
in the team.
What if Ronaldo and Mbappe switch?
No, they just a trade, like an NFL style.
No.
trade.
No,
Just throwing it out there.
absolutely not.
Yeah, no,
You don't like Mbappe,
let's
bro?
make it happen. Let's do a swap.
But
I'll
here's the
take
thing:
it.
is that if I was worried about attitudes before with Ronaldo and Pogba, Mbappe is a whole other freaking
you'd be
mess.
worried about that.
I would be
Yeah,
really
but-
worried about that. But also, if
scenario
there's
of-
one person that can turn him around at this point, I think it would be Ten Hag.
Mbappe,
I mean,
maybe.
yeah, I could
Yeah.
see Ten Hag
Yeah,
turning him
he
around,
probably could.
making him
He could.
probably the best player in the world.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah,
All right, just
the other
quick
cool
scenario
thing-
for you guys
The
real
other cool
quick.
thing about that is you'd have Mbappe for United and Holland for City, and they are probably going to be the 2 best in the world, and they're on rival teams. It's Messi and Ronaldo all over again. It'd be perfect.
Barca Madrid.
That would be amazing.
That would be pretty cool. But okay,
Pretty sweet.
yeah. From what I was saying earlier,
I think we
scenario for you
changed
guys
your
real
mind,
quick.
right?
Yeah, I think you might have just from that just from that. It's like, you know what, change his attitude, have that going for the next few years. I'm down. You guys got me.
Now it would probably be a season before Mbappe actually looked part of a team
Well, yeah.
appropriately.
Because
Mbappe
Hag's
would
gonna
start
dick.
Ten
today.
Hag's gonna bench him for the first like 6 months because his
Mbappe
attitude
would
sucks.
start this day. Mbappe, and I don't even rate Mbappe.
Not if
this
his
high.
attitude sucks.
Do we look at who he's competing with?
And that's sort
So
of
look at it.
but
Look at who Ronaldo's competing with. Ten Hag's just like, oh, you have a bad attitude. Sit on
We
the bench.
don't have a striker.
I mean
And
we
he
do.
still
they're
puts
just
Ronaldo
always
on the
injured.
bench.
Also, here's the thing: is that Casemiro technically didn't start his first game. He started his 4th game?
More
Yeah,
than that, I
just
think,
saying.
almost. Yeah.
Because he eased
3rd
them in.
game, 4th game? Yeah, he used them
Yeah.
in. It'd be the same thing for any player, I think, under 10 Hag.
Honestly, I don't even rate Mbappe that high. I know, like, I think he's an incredible player, but I don't rate him as high as Haaland or I don't know who else.
They're different. Just like Ronaldo and Messi were different players.
I just
Mbappe and
don't
Haaland are
even.
different.
I see Mbappe fizzling as soon as his speed dies. Like his finishing has improved incredibly over the last few years, insanely over the last few years. But is it enough to keep him competitive for the next 6-7 years? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, he is only 22.
That's the first thing that goes, the speed, right? That's the first thing that goes.
It is, but Ronaldo's didn't die until about 34, 35.
Ronaldo,
But he also took
Ronaldo
insane care of himself.
Yes, and it went away because of that injury, right? Was it the Euros injury?
In
Yeah,
the
it was
Euros,
the Payet.
Euros when he got hit in the knee.
Yeah, the Payet injury on him. That changed him. But Ronaldo's also again. This is another thing that's I think is crazy is to say like Mbappe and Haaland is the new Ronaldo versus Messi or who was it before Haaland? It was somebody else against Mbappe, and it's insane to think that I think Messi had 2 or 3 Ballon d'Ors by the age of 23. Ronaldo had one at the age of 25. He won the treble. Like this, you know what I mean? Like let's chill out a little bit before we start comparing.
Yeah, everybody always says that about comparing them, but the problem is that these kids are coming up and being like they're going to be the next Messi, the next Ronaldo.
It's already too
But they're
late.
doing that at the same time that Messi and Ronaldo are still winning their Ballon d'Ors.
It's already
so they can't win them.
Exactly. It's already too late. Mbappe's 22. He has not won a Champions League yet. He's not really competed for a Ballon d'Or pretty convincingly yet. To imagine what he was doing. I mean, Messi was scoring super hat tricks against Arsenal and everything at like 21, 22. They were insane.
Yeah, they were. Like going back and just watching YouTube videos of Messi and Ronaldo, it reminds me of how good they were at that age. And then watching Mbappe and Haaland is just like, you guys are really good.
Yeah.
There's just a difference.
Mbappe does look like he's about to.
And I think Haaland, if Haaland continues what he's doing, is gonna. I mean, he's gonna break Premier League records. Every time
he's gonna break world football records.
Every time he's going out and playing right now and scoring goals, he's like setting and breaking new records. Now they're on the youth side of things, so it's not like he's Ronaldo out there scoring his 700th club goal or anything like that. But
no, he's insane. He's set up to be the best ever when it comes to goal scoring.
Yeah. But remember too, if he wants to compete with Ronaldo's records, from now until he's 35, he has to score 45 goals a season.
Yeah, isn't that insane? That is crazy.
Doable.
That is crazy.
It's doable.
For him, yeah, it looks doable right now. But he could plateau. He could.
But again, he
get hurt
and have a couple 25-goal seasons. But I guarantee you,
Haaland which Ronaldo happened to
60, 65 goal seasons in there to bring him up.
Yeah,
and honestly, I feel like Haaland is set up way, way better than Ronaldo because Ronaldo went to a struggling Real Madrid. He was fighting for a spot in United. There's a few things that were going against Ronaldo's way.
Yeah, there were. So actually, going back to that real quick, I know we've gotten completely away from every topic that we wrote out today.
That's all right. I'll be pulling this back around here shortly.
Yeah. Do you think Haaland could break Messi's annual goal record?
The calendar year or
the calendar? Yeah, that calendar year of 92 goals.
92 goals? Absolutely not. That'll never happen.
Oh yeah, he would. No, I think he will.
Those
in his
at
pace,
that point, he wasn't even trying to score goals. Like it looked like he was trying to miss and was scoring.
Yeah, he was just scoring 2 and 3 goals.
January's right around the corner.
But at Haaland's pace right now,
at City.
At Haaland's pace right now, just for the Premier League, just this season, he's on pace to score 60-something goals, 64 goals.
It won't happen.
I think he'll. Hold on. I think he'll score 50. I think he'll score maybe 55.
55 goals? Are we just saying these things just on
In the Premier League.
Are we
Yeah,
saying
in the Premier,
55
just in
league
the
goals?
Premier League, just in the
Alright,
Premier League,
Somebody clip
50
it.
to 55.
Clip it.
And this is not and Nick, you're just saying that you sound like you're being conservative. You're not even sound like you're saying something that's outrageously.
No, I
What
don't
is
think that's
what is
outrageous.
classified as insane when it comes to football take? I completely think it's possible, but you're saying that like, yeah, I feel like you could do 55, 65. Like,
Just in the Premier League, though.
that's what I'm saying.
And
I
like
didn't-
the best season that someone's had in the past like 30 years is like 34 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think Haaland looks, and being honest, do we think Haaland looks more scary than that one Suarez season?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
You think no, right?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
100. What? No, he's way
Suarez
scarier
was
than Suarez.
terrifying that season.
And he scored 35 goals.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing: is that I okay. Well, then fine. I agree with you, but also I would say Man City looks more terrifying than Suarez ever did, and the reason is because it's not just Haaland; it's everyone else there, and
Yeah.
everyone else is feeding goals to Haaland, so Haaland is going to score those goals. That's what's
fair.
going to happen.
That's fair.
Which is fair. But the types
I
of goals that
don't
Haaland's scoring is because they're all feeding him.
Yeah.
Of those
Not all
35
of them.
goals, Suarez created his own. Many of them. Dribbling through people, using his technique, first touch, just megging someone,
Halfway
hitting it top
volleys.
corner. Yeah.
Halfway
Haaland doesn't
volleys,
have that in his
chips,
repertoire right now.
everything. Yeah, Suarez,
He's a
that's-
finisher, and I don't want to say that that's it because he's the best finisher in the world right now. But
All right, guys, we're
Yeah.
gonna pack it up and move on to.
Wait, just before we leave, I will say that I don't think we're gonna see, just because this will be recorded, I don't think, and I'll stand by this, I think Haaland's amazing. I don't think we'll see a 5 in front of the goal number that Haaland's gonna score this season.
You think it'll be
so-
higher or lower?
Absolutely lower. There's no way.
That's all right.
Okay.
He does
I
have
say
the
he'll
World
be-
Cup on his side. He
he-
does have the World Cup on his side, being
Yes.
from a nerf nation, as people would say.
yeah, I say he might hit 40.
Yeah, I think 40 is doable.
If he stays healthy, he might hit 40.
If you were setting the plus minus with a half, what would it be? Each of-
38.5. 38.5.
I would say 34.
Mm,
Miles,
Nick-
I need an opinion from you though here.
40.5.
40.5.
Okay, okay,
Well,
alright.
I need you to throw something in there too.
50.
All right, well, we have it
70.
You guys
recorded.
laugh at me now.
We have it
You
recorded.
guys laugh
We'll
at me
look back
now.
at the end of the
I'm just
season.
saying.
Okay, so let's talk about Leeds for a little bit. And is Jesse Marsh, should he be worried?
I think so.
I think so.
I kind of think so too.
It's sad to say
it's-
that I think so.
It's stupid watching them because they look good. Whenever you
Look
watch
good
them
'cause of
play,
those
they seem to
Americans.
look good. Well, yeah, but they also haven't won a game in 7 games.
Right.
It's like every time it's just like they have everything except the end product. Which go back to the owners for not buying them a forward and saying, "Oh, rely on Bamford. It's fine."
I've seen a few tweets today that and one of them was great, and it had a picture of the roster with all of the players' player rating after the game, and there were 3 players in the 7s and everyone else was in the 4s and 5s, and they're like, Jesse Marsh wanted to purchase 3 players, guess which 3 they are? And it was the guys in the 7s, and it's Aronson,
Adams,
and whoever the right back is.
Sinestra?
Yeah. And
No, the right back. I don't remember, but yeah.
they're Jesse Marsh's guys. And so yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I like Jesse Marsh. I think he's building something there. I think it's unfortunate when a team gets off to a hot streak at the start of the season and then they kind of cool off to where you kind of thought they were going to be, but already the expectation has been raised, and now the coach is on the hot seat. And I think a lot of these conversations just kind of make the seat hotter because the team winds up reading their own news.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Especially the way the
I-
Premier League works, where if you're like in the same way that Haaland plays good for 4 or 5 games, they project him 60 goals. You lose 1 or 2 games, and people are wondering whether you're gonna stay in the league or not. Like it goes both ways, and it's really harsh. I don't know the mental strength that it takes to look at but wake up in the morning and have the entire world say that you're gonna fail and be terrible, and then just still show up. You know what I mean? I can't. It's insane.
Yeah. I just hope the owners at Leeds realize that it's going to take longer than. How long has Marsh been there? The summer,
Let me look at here.
or did he join in the spring of
I'm
last
pretty sure
season?
it was. I'm pretty sure it was spring of last season.
Yeah.
I'm almost 99% sure he came in spring of last year.
Okay. Yeah, it's just going to take him longer than the a single summer transfer window for Marsh to do something with that Leeds team. Like they have
swap
some
out
decent
for
players.
Rafinha?
The what?
So he's
Did
been there
they-
since February 28th
Okay.
of 22.
And and Rafinha left him this summer.
Yeah. Was there a replacement for him at all, or no? Not.
Dan James.
I mean,
Yes. Also.
was Rodrigo there last season?
Yeah, he was.
He was. Okay. I mean, to be fair, Rodrigo looked really good.
He does. Dan James does sometimes.
He's
perfect for
so
a team like that.
fast, but he cannot cross a ball and he cannot finish.
Yeah, it's
Don't know
his
what
final.
it is.
It's his final ball. He can do the short passes. He's got a good close control. He's super fast. But that final decision making is just
It's almost
Sterling.
always missing something.
sad. It's almost sad watching Dan James play sometimes.
He had so much potential when he joined us.
So much potential.
Oh man, but yeah. I'm just hoping Marsh stays and they start winning. Who do they play next?
Well, we're gonna get to that in our preview for next week. But
All right, sweet.
yeah, so moving to some internet. Well, actually, that's a good segue. Sorry, I broke up your segue. Right. Let's do a Premier League preview for next week here.
All right.
Did we at all? I know we talked so much about United. Did we at all just say how we feel about the Spurs game? Did we say if we feel like this was a fluke, or maybe?
I mean, we kind of mentioned how we played super well, and then it got overshadowed by Ronaldo, which is basically what's been happening in the news in general.
Which what happened in this podcast, because he took that over too. Incredible, this guy Ronaldo.
Yeah, right. Man.
Well, how do you guys feel?
I think
I'm gonna
we're-
leave it to
we're
you guys,
starting
the
to-
United fans.
We're starting to get on a roll now.
This
Mhm.
is the first game that I've seen. Honestly, it's the first game that I've seen of our season that we haven't. I mean, the Arsenal game was great, but we got dominated for 60% of it. But this game we dominated the entire time. It felt
Yeah.
like they just Varane just controlling. Varane and Casemiro were so needed for this team.
They were.
There was such a big disconnect, especially on the right side of the field, between our midfield and our defense, and our midfield and our attack. There'd just be so many gaps in there, and just Casemiro just has so much experience. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I did not think Casemiro was this much of like a good on the ball player. I know that's crazy, but it seemed like in Madrid it always was his job was to give it to Cruz or Modric and let them do the ball stuff. But you know what? This guy is really good on the ball too, like quality. You know?
Yeah. The amount of just like the ball being pinged at him and just a one-touch pass right to someone's foot, 30 yards away. Incredible.
I truly didn't see that in Madrid. I don't know if he wasn't given a license or what, but I did not see a lot of that in Madrid.
No, yeah, we didn't get to see a lot of that there.
Yeah, but he is,
And
and you know, Anthony too. Anthony, I'm still skeptical. Every time he touches the ball, I think he looks slow and small to be in the Premier League. But the dude is a full-on Brazilian. Like he can dribble. He's brave.
Oh yeah, he is an out-and-out winger. He will get that ball and go straight at the person.
He still looks small to me.
I mean,
Honestly,
he's
he's
five. What is wrong with being 5'9", Theo?
Nothing's wrong, but I just look at if you look at a player like Pepe, and he couldn't, he couldn't succeed in the Premier League. It's hard to look at a player like Anthony and be like, oh no, he will. 'Cause Pepe, like you look at both of them, it's like very similar style players. Pepe just has more vision, more speed, more strength, more height. You know what I mean? And
You
even the
could say
shot
that.
is comparable. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
I'm looking at Pepe fail and expecting Anthony to succeed. I'm skeptical.
The problem that
Honestly,
Pepe
at
had
this
though is that
point-
his technique and his first touch were not nearly as good as Anthony's.
Okay, that's something.
And Anthony, to me, almost mimics a left-footed Ronaldo when he was like coming up, like when he was super young, when we bought him from the team from Portugal,
Sporting.
Sporting. I mean, he's ballsy. He tries to go for the throat every time he gets the ball. I mean, that's kind of what Ronaldo did
Okay, guys.
his first season.
Kind of, yeah.
Did anyone want to say anything about Chelsea and Brentford draw?
That was Matt wasn't able to join.
Yeah.
So
We'll let Matt take that next. Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I watched it. They look good. They had a really. I mean, Gallagher got injured. That changed everything almost. Kovacic looked really nice. Mason Mount was open for like just a tap in, but what's his name, Boyan or Boyak or something? Broha. I haven't seen him play honestly too much, but I don't know, the ball got on his foot. Chelsea could have won that game. Is all I'm saying. Chelsea could have easily won that game.
Is Gallagher out for a while?
I think so. I think he's not going to be back next week, is what I read.
Okay, I gotta
But-
look that up.
Yeah.
Not only do we share last names, but he's on my fantasy team. So
Oh yeah, so you're real interested.
yeah, so very
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like speaking of other fantasy teams, Mount playing really well again. Nick.
Yeah, that was
Whatever.
a terrible call dropping Mason Mount.
Whatever.
All
To be
right.
fair, my midfield is like pretty
Guess
stacked,
who
so I'm not
picked
too
him
worried about
right up? Guess who did not let that guy go to waste?
All right,
it.
guys.
My midfield's fine. It's my forwards are garbage.
We're gonna run down Premier League schedule for this coming weekend, and you guys can take turns giving a one sentence thoughts on each game. So Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. Not much to think, I think.
2-0 Forest.
They have the redder shirts.
Let's go,
Everton and
Lingard.
Crystal Palace. I don't know. Not much to think there. Okay, so the
Crystal
big
Palace
game,
will win.
big game of the weekend's got to be Chelsea and United.
Oh yeah.
I think
Can we
it'll be
play the
2-1.
same way against them that we did against Tottenham?
I think it'll be 2-1 Man United.
I'm thinking Chelsea looks better, honestly. I'm thinking a 1-1 draw, but I think Chelsea looks just a little bit sharper.
There won't be a Ronaldo on the bench at all.
But is Martial healthy?
No.
No, he might be healthy enough for the bench on Saturday. That's been a hope. Van de Beek has also been like, oh, he's training again. He might make the bench soon. I forgot
That
he was
guy
on
does
our
not
team.
play for us, man.
His
Aston
Yeah.
Villa versus Brentford.
Brentford.
I like
Wow.
Brentford
yeah,
as well.
Brentford.
Yeah. Brentford.
Dude,
Until they get a new
Tony-
coach.
Dude, if United can get Tony this January,
Yeah.
I think we're looking pretty good.
Leeds.
Yeah.
Leeds versus Fulham.
Fulham.
Leeds needs a win. They're gonna need a win. They're gonna come out flying.
Fulham's gonna beat them 2-0.
And then the
Opposite.
last game that we'll talk about is Spurs and Newcastle.
Ooh, that's
Newcastle.
gonna be a
Such a
good
good
game.
game. That's a really
Newcastle's
uh,
gonna take Conte's job.
No.
Is
No,
Kulusevski coming back anytime soon? Is anybody is you know what? I'm gonna go Spurs on that one just because I know Lucas Moura's coming into the team more, and all they need is attacking options. Everything else they got figured out.
I think Newcastle will win it. I think they're finally starting to like find their stride. I think Newcastle will win it.
Finally, find their stride. They've got the least goals against all season.
But I mean, like scoring goals wise, like they're actually finally scoring goals. Like the beginning of the season,
That's
they
fair.
were drawing a lot.
Trippier
were,
breaks
that's
his
true.
leg. Kane scores a penalty, they win another.
Oh man, if that happened to Trippier, England would be out 4 right backs before the World Cup.
Oh no, England doing terrible at the World Cup. Who would not like that? What a terrible.
See, that's
world
what
we
I
live
say.
in.
That's what I say, Theo. We get on this podcast every week, and Rife and Nick just have like bleeding hearts about the English team, and it's like, we're gonna play them, right? Like,
There's not a team that look. I'm not
I
the most.
I don't have a bleeding
patriotic
heart
guy
for
here, but I'm gonna be breathing, bleeding, everything red, white, and blue the day that we play them. There's
Good to hear.
nothing
Oh,
that
yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
more
I agree.
than English fans. I'm cool with them, but just to watch football's coming home memes, I'm good. I'm
Coming
cool on
home?
that.
yeah, it's called.
And to set the
soccer.
record straight, just to set it straight, I don't have a bleeding heart for England. I just think it's hilarious that they have so much talent, and their manager sucks. And they always talk about how it's like, oh, the right back position is so confusing. We have so many guys.
I don't know how.
And
they
then 3 of them
manage it.
get hurt, and they're like, okay, now who do we put there?
How do we hate Southgate so much? I'm just saying he's been the most successful manager for the past like 3 decades.
Yeah, but you also like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they're basically the same manager.
No, Ole's a lot more exciting. Come on now. Southgate is a lot more conservative than Ole. Come on, be nice.
I do think it's interesting how much I do think it's interesting how much the discourse around the team, like the US team and the English team, are similar right now, because everybody hates Berhalter, everybody hates Southgate, and there's all these discussions about like their most stacked positions are the ones that they're questioning them about, their decision making, and it just is very similar, like
Yeah.
the US has 4 or 5 forwards we can play, and everyone's going to tell you a different one.
Yeah, and it always looks better when it always looks easy to criticize a manager when he had options on the bench after the team loses.
Right.
I mean, you look at the Euros final. It was very easy to criticize him for not bringing Grealish on, but we know what Grealish looks like over a season, but we didn't know back then, and we looked at it as what a terrible decision to have Grealish, a weapon like that, on the bench. Luis Figo pretty much on the bench, and you don't bring him on. And then, I mean, he was 2 penalties away from winning the whole thing. I don't know. I feel like the Southgate hate is on.
I mean, I think the dumbest decision was bringing on 2
Super
very young players, cold,
who have no
to
experience.
take those PKs.
Mm-hmm.
Like they hadn't even touched a ball yet, and he was like, "All right, you need to go take these PKs."
All right, guys,
touch the ball.
we're gonna be
Sancho and
bumping
Rashford
up-
came in at like the 118th minute or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna be bumping up against time here. I think that's a good place to say that I'd like us to do our top 10 jerseys for the next pod, for the World Cup. I think that seems like a good
Yeah.
segue. So I think it'd be a fun little segment for the next pod, and we'll leave it there. Anyone else have any departing thoughts?
Thank y'all for having me.
And of course, you gonna be able to make it Sundays.
Possibly.
All right, we'll see everyone on Sunday.
Okay, fine. I still stand by it.
Everybody.
Pogba and Ronaldo had the same terrible attitude.
You're wrong.
Peace out.
You are wrong.